Okay guys, I'm back again. And this time I've got my D-loop material. I've already got one knot melted at one end. I used to pre-cut this stuff into little teeny lengths, and maybe if I have a backpack kit, repair kit, whatever, because I have had these snap in weirdest times. There's a couple arrows in the neighbor's trees, don't tell them. They're a half a mile away, it's fine. But they do break sometimes, but when I'm at home and I'm not making one for a repair kit, whatever, I leave it long. And that's something I learned from John Dudley. And if you're into bow tuning or you think you want to start getting into it, the guy's a wealth of knowledge. And I don't claim to be an expert. I just do what works for me. So, and here's another thing too. And I just started that one backwards. You want your D loop, at least I want it to be basically when your loop comes off. I want it to come off for a right-handed guy. I want the loop to come off on this side, and I want it to come back on that side when the knots are done. So start like that. Hopefully I'll do this big enough you can see it. And the reason that is just because of your hand position. And maybe I'm full of crap. Maybe it doesn't really make any difference. There's probably some great shooters out there shooting really well, and they probably have it on the opposite sides. Don't get this crazy tight either. It'll end up tightening up on its own. I like my loops pretty small. But okay, you see how that actually is coming off the string on that side. So when you're a right-handed guy and you have your release set, it lines up with kind of the plane of your hand or your release aid more so than if it was the other way around. So now we go to the other side. See, you could very easily start it on the same side. Now your the string, the loop, when it goes back in the bow is around the string, it's going to be on the, I guess the shooter's left both ways. Don't want that. I want one on the left, one on the right, and the left one for a right-handed shooter being, or the upper one on the left. So I probably just made that more confusing than it really needs to be. If I did, feel free to comment and tell me how I messed that up. I can try to straighten it out, but like I said, I'm not an expert at this. I just do it on some of my own bows and some friends. I don't own a shop. Never done it professionally. But like I said, I like my loops pretty small. Some guys like a longer loop. And I can understand the benefits of a longer loop because a longer loop is going to give you more ability to be torque free. I sometimes think with a real short loop, and that will get longer when I stretch it out, the shorter loop is touchier with the release. If you rotate your hand a little bit differently at your anchor point, it probably could actually change the point of impact. So this is why I leave them long now. I get that kind of close, maybe a little bit smaller than I want it to be. Don't cut towards your string, cut towards your cables. Actually, don't cut towards either. That's supposed to be a joke. Did I make sure and put a safety disclaimer at the beginning of this? Don't blow up your bow. That should be the number one thing. Okay, let me fluff that guy up. Where you kind of make those threads puff up right there, the better and bigger knot you'll get. I kind of stick it out past there a little bit. Don't burn your thumb either. But if you have a choice of your thumb or the string, burn your thumb. Alright, now I've got those riding right. I probably should have done this in different colors. I like red, but I'll pull them apart. But you can see the knock sets. Just gonna slide that up, and still it's pretty snug, but I can still move it a little bit because later on when we're tuning, and we start timing our cams and putting our peep in there, and getting the peep lined up so you don't have to have one of those silly tubes so your peep always comes back perfectly square. This might move. This might have to add a twist to the bottom, whatever. So because of that, don't make these things super, super tight. They'll snug up on their own when you're shooting. Now you can use a fancy D-loop pliers. I actually don't like these as much as I like just a regular old pair of needle nose. These things have square, rounded, or not square, not rounded, square edges, kind of sharp. So I usually just stick one of these guys in there, give it a couple of these, and that's about it. It'll snug up the rest of the way on its own. And that's actually probably on the large side for me. I usually like mine a little bit smaller, and I might end up redoing that, but it's about a 1/2 inch. Actually, that's probably about right. Because probably end up about 5/8 of an inch of space between the near side of the string to the inside of that loop. So and you can see the knot. This knot is facing that way, and this loop comes off on that side of the string, and then just the opposite on the top. They both can rotate. You can even pull them down if you want. It's not super tight. They'll snug up. Those knots won't let anything come through. That's how I do it. Might not be how you do. I'm sure I might get some criticism on this, but it works for me. And that's all that matters to me. Hope I helped somebody. We'll catch you on the next one.